everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know that I haven't been posting in a while and I'm really sorry for that. Things have just gotten really busy. Things have been, going on at work, and then I just started my doctorate program, so that's going to take a lot of time out of me. And I'm sort of just getting through my time management, looking at my priorities, seeing where I have time for things, and if I don't, then they take a back seat for a little bit. But for this video, because of everything that was going on in the news right now, the coronavirus is out, some countries are shutting down, others aren't. I thought that this would be a good time, since we are told to stay indoors and kind of just shut ourselves in. I was going to stock up on a couple of books. I have some bookshelves that are coming soon, so hopefully those come in. I'm not sure how everything is going right now. Right now we're just being monitored. So we'll see what happens. If the books come in later, then they come in later. I have plenty of new ones that I just got. And if you want me to go into all of those, just let me know if you want me to do another video of my recent book haul. We've been in our apartment for about a little over a year now, and before I moved in here, I had to get rid of all my books. So now that I have a space for everything, I'm sort of starting over from scratch. But without further ado, one of the things that I've really been getting into are the single bound trilogy books. And I have 4 that I recently picked up these past couple of weeks that I'll show off to you. And so the first one that I'll show off, which I know isn't new, none of these books are really new, but they're new to me. It's Modern Fairy Tales by Holly Black. And I really enjoyed the Cruel Prince trilogy by her. And this seems like another fae sort of trilogy. It's about a girl, I think that she's human, similar to Jude in the Cruel Prince trilogy. And one of the lines is, "For she will soon become an unwilling pawn in an ancient power struggle between 2 rival fairy kingdoms." So I definitely love the fae aspect on it. I know everyone was getting it because of how pretty the cover it is. It is such a pretty cover. And I kept checking this book out from the library when it first came out, and I never got around to reading it. I read like the first chapter, I think, and then I got wrapped up in the other Holly Black trilogy, and so I want to give this one a go. It's not thick. I think I was expecting it to be bigger, but it's actually not that bad. There's like some pretty illustrations and the titles. I don't know if the original books had it too. But yeah, I'm willing to give this one a good read. So the next book that I picked up, I picked this up because one of the YouTubers that I like to listen to, Reagan, was really into this trilogy, and I wasn't going to originally read it. But when I started listening to her kind of talk about it, I really got interested in it, and I think I'm going to give it a go. And that is the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I really like kind of the idea of talking about gods, and I believe this was the trilogy because there were a couple that she's been reading that were like God-centered or, man overthrowing God kind of idea. And this one is where each god has their own personality, and the family that sort of rules everything right now kind of has them enslaved, it sounded like. So it says, "Gods and mortals, power and love, death and revenge, she will unleash them all." And there's a couple of good quotes from Brandon Sanderson and Brent Weeks, which I'm really into their world concepts. I'm still getting into this sort of, I guess, is this adult fantasy genre? These are kind of bulky reads. And so those were some authors that I really liked their world concepts. So I think I'll really like this one too. It really was intriguing to me. And I'll give it a go. Next book that I have, speaking of some of the authors that I really like the quotes for, it's Night Angel, the complete trilogy by Brent Weeks. And this is the trilogy. I'm still kind of learning what this book is about. I read the first chapter and I really liked it. It's about an assassin. I think he ends up taking up an apprentice. Azoth must learn to navigate the assassin's world of dangerous politics and strange magics and become the perfect killer. And when I looked at this, I really liked that was Brent Weeks. I was really interested in the concept of the Black Prism world. I have not actually read The Black Prism, but I really liked the concept, so I figured if I like the concept on one of his works, maybe I'll like this concept. And honestly, when I see assassins in the title, it steers me clear. I don't want to read it. I really wasn't into the assassins vibe. And the more that I'm reading about things, especially when I read The Cruel Prince and kind of how Jude has this assassin vibe to her, it's kind of made me realize there is a lot of stories between YA and adult fantasy that I kind of just shut out because of the word assassin. And I figured this might be a good read for me to kind of overcome my fear of reading about assassins. I don't know why I have that fear. I don't know why I wasn't interested in those books, but like the more I read books and the more I see the assassin element, the more intrigued I am about it. So I don't know if I just need to have a good solid trilogy to kind of get me over that, because honestly, the only reason I haven't read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas is because the first book is about an assassin. And I really think that's kind of keeping me away from this awesome series, because I read The Court of Thorns and Roses and I really liked it. So I don't know what's going on with me right now. And then the last single bound trilogy set that I had gotten is the Abhorsen Chronicles. If that's how you pronounce it. It's by Garth Nix. And I was really interested in this. I'd never heard of this author before. I had never heard of this series before. And I was really interested in it because it was talking about, so Sabriel, every step brings Sabriel closer to a battle that she will pit against the true forces of life and death and bring her to face with her own destiny. And so I'm really interested in stories that teeter between life and death, like what defines them and where are there gray areas between them. I'm really kind of interested in this battle aspect. It definitely has a good versus evil kind of vibe. And I don't know, just something about this cover just looks very intriguing. I like the colors. I don't know, something just drew me to it and I just really liked it. And the top line is only the Abhorsen can keep the living safe from the dead. So it's definitely got a little bit of a undead kind of vibe, which I think would be really good into this. So anyways, those were the 4 books that I have recently gotten. They were single bound trilogies, which I'm always a fan of. I just think they're awesome. They just look so big. And then when you go into reading them, they're actually like more than one book, which I really think is awesome. So I always have it on hand. It'll be great. So if you actually know any single bound trilogies, please link them down below. I would so be interested in looking into them. I just think they're gorgeous. I just think they're awesome. So anyway, I'll see you soon. I hope you guys all stay safe and I'll talk to you guys later.